Is it time for refinancing your mortgage?
Yes? No? Maybe? How do you know?
And what if you make the wrong decision?
It's been such a long time that we've had these crazy low interest rates. And if you weren't investing before when interest rates were higher, you may be finding yourself kind of stuck on how do I know whether it's time to refinance or not?
Today, we're gonna clear up how you make that decision. Even in spite of all these interest rates rising, how do you make the right decision and feel comfortable about it? The first thing that I wanna say are 3 words: strategy, strategy, and what's the third one?
Strategy?
Yeah, good job. Are you refinancing so that you could pull out cash, buy some jet skis, go on an amazing vacation? Or are you pulling out cash and refining so that you can get yourself into an asset that pays you? The answer should be option B. And when that asset is paying you, then after you accumulate that cash flow, then you could buy those fun toys a little bit down the line.
And another thing that is really fun that we've done on a couple of our properties is we'll buy a property and the cash flow from that property is used to pay the monthly payment on XYZ toy.
Yeah, because there is a way for us to have fun while building. Like you can have both and, right?
Agreed. So have you ever played that game, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game? The whole premise of the game is that you're acquiring assets and those assets kick off cash flow and you use the cash flow to buy the doodads, right? To make the boat payment or to the jet ski payment or whatever fun things you want to do. You use the cash flow from the assets to do that. So you have both and.
Not this or that. It's much more beautiful to live in the both and world.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, what's your favorite toy that our cash flow pays for?
I think for me, it's the RV.
RV, that's mine too.
The ARV.
We call it ARV. But yeah, the reason why I love that one is because it helps us go out and create memories. And that's what's important to us. So.
And one of the things that's also kind of cool is, it's a business expense. We do all of our investing remotely, so it doesn't really matter where we're physically located. The ARV, as we affectionately refer to it, we do our investing from there, from whatever campsite we happen to be at. So it allows us to, it's funny, our real estate pays for the RV that allows us to go have fun with our kids and create memories for the family, but also continue to invest.
Yeah, because our business model of remote investing gives us that freedom. So it's both and. So give us a comment below, like what are some of the fun things that you want your cash flow to pay for? Just some of your toys. Drop it in the comment.
So how do you decide if you should refinance a property that you own to release some cash for other investing? It really comes down to an analysis of benefits. Can you pull a HELOC on your house instead of refinancing into a higher interest rate? Sometimes the loan to value, or the LTV, will be lower if it's a HELOC, because a HELOC, which stands for home equity line of credit, is considered a second mortgage. So you have your first mortgage, which is probably a low interest rate if you bought anytime in the last several years, and then your HELOC is considered a second. It's gonna have a much higher interest rate because the bank that holds that HELOC is in second position. So you really have to look at the math behind your decision. What is your payment right now? What would your payment be? All right, so you have to look at the math behind your decision. So let's just say you're looking at actually legitimately refinancing. Let's say that the HELOC is either not available or it's gonna be such a small loan to value that you're really not gonna be able to free up much capital, and so it's not compelling. So refinancing, that's scary if you have a very low interest rate, right? Look at the actual math of it. So how much is your payment now? How much is your payment when you refinance, right? And what is the difference? Let's say that you refinance and now you pulled out a bunch of cash, but now your payment is $250 a month higher than it was. What you have to look at is that cash that you pulled out, do you have the ability to put that into an asset that can produce at least that $250 difference? Because if not, that's probably not a good use of your cash. But if you can at least meet the difference, what you've effectively done is purchased a property for free using the equity of your home. So even if it pays for itself, ultimately what you have is cash flow coming in, which is a hedge against inflation like we talked about last week, and you have depreciation expense, which helps to offset your active income, at least a little bit, and you have mortgage pay down, which means every month your tenants are paying their rent, you're using the rent to pay the mortgage and the expenses, so every month that principal balance is going down, 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 down. So if you're only making exactly $250 a month of cash flow on that, and that was the same as your payment went up, you're still winning at every level. But the reality is, chances are, if you're doing it correctly, you'll be able to take that money and turn it into much more than $250 a month, which means you're really winning at every level. And that's how you go in and evaluate whether you should refinance or not.
Because most people would look at that and be like, oh, 250, I'm just breaking even. And they just dismiss it.
Right.
But that's not the point. The
No.
point is all of the things, the appreciation on the equity, the mortgage pay down, all of those things. But plus, now you've got yourself, you've leveraged an asset to get an asset. And now that gives you credibility, which can get you into qualifying for lower loans later. And you're listed as a performer that closes. Like there's so many good benefits from this.
So like realtors will bring you more deals because
Absolutely.
you've closed.
Absolutely. So don't look at those little things like, oh God, it's 250, I'm just breaking even, and give up and be like, oh, that's not worth my time. There's more to it, right? You got to peel the onion back, but I guarantee you it's probably going to be more than breaking even anyway.
So there's no single answer to the refinance question. Analyze the numbers, see if you can make more on your cash flow than the cost of the refinance, plus all those other benefits we talked about. And if so, take action. Don't keep waiting. Interest rates are not going down anytime soon. In fact, it's the opposite. So if you're thinking about refinancing and you can and the numbers make sense, do it. Take action. And of course, comment below if there's anything we can do to assist you and help you through that process.
So if you liked this video, I want you to click the like button again, and here's a freaking grizzly bear. Oh, so you can get after it.
Watch this next video so you can see how much you can make with a 10-unit apartment so that you can start having real estate pay for your life.
Woo, we'll see you next week.